What's up, y'all? It's your man Earl. Today's day 211 on the calendar. And we are right smack dab in the middle of a 7-day series on financial literacy, core competencies. What are the 7 core competencies that you need to be able to master over the period of your whole life? This is nothing that you learn tomorrow, nothing that you learn tonight, nothing that you learn in an hour. These are the 7 core competencies that I recommend that you can begin to master to have superior performance in your finances. We've dealt with savings. We've dealt with investing. We've dealt with spending. And today, day 211 on the calendar, July 29th, how to borrow. And I make 2 strong recommendations. First of all, let's pull a scripture. Proverbs 22:7 says, "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender." This is the King James Version. Let me tap this one. Let me give you this one. I like this one. Let me give you this one. This is the NIV. Okay. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Okay, that's the NIV. I can't make it any clearer than that. All right. And I'm going to give you 2 strong recommendations. There's only 2 things out of choice that you borrow money for: a house and potentially a decent car. Everything else you should save to buy. Okay. I'm going to say it again. There's only 2 major reasons that you go into debt. All right. The number 1 reason you go into debt is you get a house. All right. We live in a society that there's usury, there's absorbent interest rates, there is all kinds of inflation that shreds away at the value of the dollar. So borrowing, if you will, has become part of society. Now it took me, oh my goodness, 10 years to get out of that trap. Okay. And yes, I drove some junkers, some clunkers, had a prepaid telephone. I had all different kinds of things that people would say, you're a failure, you're not successful, driving around a 10 to 15-year-old car. Why? I didn't want a car payment. I didn't want to go out here and get into debt. It took me roughly almost 8 to 10 years to get myself in a situation to where I'm not having a car payment. Okay, and I have a 3-year strategy that at the end of this 3 years, I'll have certain things in place by the grace of the Most High God. Nevertheless, I make 2 recommendations that you go borrow for. When you have to go out and borrow money, is a car and a house. Okay, and the only reason why you should be borrowing to get a car is because you need the car, because you're going back and forth on your income stream to where you make sure you got to be there on time. You can't afford to come outside and start the car and it doesn't click over. You can't afford to not be at where you need to be at, whether it's a job or your own business. So you have to have a decent car to generate revenue. Outside of that, everything else is optional and they're toys. Okay. Now, does that mean you don't have a JCPenney's card? Does that mean you shouldn't have a gas card? No. What I'm saying is talk about borrowing heavily, upwards of 5,000 plus. Okay. Only borrow for a car and a house. Okay. Why? Because you see the text. Rich ruleth over the poor, and borrower is servant to the lender. When you borrow money, you have to answer to the person that you borrow from, whether it be a bank, credit union, or a person. And they have a right to call you out on how you spend your resources until you pay them back. All right. And so if you're a person who struggles with that, don't even entertain it. All right. We're living, matter of fact, all this COVID-19 loans and PPE and business loans and SBA and Small Business Association and different companies have got money from the federal government, and they're supposed to put that money out into small businesses. Listen, if you don't have to borrow the money, don't get the money, because you will have to answer. It says right here, you have to answer to the lender. It says right there. See that? You will have to answer to the lender if you borrow that money from Uncle Sam. Okay? A lot of people said, oh, you should get the money. Go get the money. I said, nope, I don't want the money. Don't need the money by the grace of God. Yes, is it struggling? Yes, is it tough? Oh, yeah, it's tough. Because businesses haven't bounced back yet. We're in the middle of an election year. It's always tough, especially when the country is so divided on certain things. You have pandemonium. We have pandemics. We got these crazy artificial inflated numbers for COVID-19. We have a hyped up situation where you have different political groups doing things across the country, riots, all kinds of stuff. So, yes, you want to go out here and borrow the money. No, I'm telling you, stick it out. Don't do it. All right. It's your man, Earl. Today is day 211, learning how to borrow. Okay. And I just want to use that word learn as in learn 2 reasons why you borrow. You only borrow to get a car, and you only borrow to get a house. Learn those 2 things and be done with it. Tough it out, suck it up, learn how to save. Okay, that was the first day. Learn how to save, episode 1. And this is, by the way, episode 1, 2, 3, episode 4. Okay, learning how to borrow properly. God bless you. God keep you. Peace.